Okay, guys, big game tomorrow. We got a big match against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and let me put it this way. It's one we absolutely need to have. So today, as we normally do, if this is your first time watching, we're going to match preview. So we're going to look at some of the statistics that are going to be pivotal in this game. We're going to look at what to expect lineup wise. Is there any new squad news that you guys should know about regards to injuries, suspensions? That might be most applicable for Chelsea Football Club as of now. And what can we expect from this game? What should we expect from a match where Chelsea obviously has been very good some weekends and very poor others? So what do we expect from our boys in this game where we're playing against, frankly, a team in absolute dismay? So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to hop over and we're going to look at kind of some stats from both teams throughout the season to see how they compare and see actually how big the divide might be between Chelsea and Wolves. So let's go ahead and do that first. All right, guys, so if you're looking here, right here, I'm on PremierLeague.com, and this is just a really cool, easy way. If you go onto, you basically can just look up the game you want to look at. If it was Chelsea Wolves, it was Chelsea, Aston Villa, whoever it might have been, right, that you want to see the game for. Look that up. It'll bring you here if you're on the PremierLeague.com, and you go to preview, you can go to squads, you can go to stats, you can go to table, match info, all that good stuff, recent form. Just a cool way to kind of look at how are the teams coming into this game. So that's kind of fun. So first I want to look at some stats. So I'm just going to kind of read through these because if I'm being honest, all of them I would say are fairly shocking. We all know, and this is not news to us, that Wolves have been on the epitome of the struggle bus for a very long time now. But they just fired their coach Vitor Pereira as well, who they just gave an extension to. So I thought that was a little weird. Obviously, they're terrible this year, but I don't know why they gave him a vote of confidence to then fire him after 4 more results. Seems a little bit silly to me, but they're in disrepair. So league position, obviously we're in 7th, and 3rd is separated by 1 point right now. Wolves is in 20th, and they are cemented in 20th. Let me tell you, because they have 0 wins to our 5. They have the same amount of draws with 2. But to our 3 losses, they have 8 losses. So they have, out of 10 match weeks, they have 2 points. So out of 30 possible points, they've gotten 2. 2 points, okay? So horrifying stuff to see if you're a Wolves fan. I'm sorry if you are. Goals, we have 18 to their 7, so they're averaging less than a goal a game. This is kind of an average, obviously, and then they're conceding about twice a game to our once, and then these last couple here are even more worrying from a Wolves perspective, and I guess you could say exciting from a Chelsea perspective, especially with such a young, kind of hyped up group of kids in the attack. So we have around 17.5 xG, so expected goals, to their 9.5. So remember, xG is just basically a statistic that's looking at how likely was a chance to result in a goal. So it's not how many goals did they create, it's how many goals should they really have scored based off their opportunities to. So out of 10 games, they don't even have 9.5 expected goals from those games. It's not uncommon to underperform your XG. Chelsea's actually overperforming it, which some of us might be a little bit surprised to hear. And you can see that kind of affirmed here where it says they have under 1 XG per 90. And then we have 4 clean sheets to their 0. So they're not defending well. They're not attacking well. They're not getting any good results. And frankly, their recruitment doesn't look great. I was talking to a friend of mine recently that I kind of was wondering if they went for a different recruitment strategy this year. And the reason I bring that up is, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I didn't recognize any really of the names they recruited in the summer. So I was thinking, oh, are they trying to, go out and get younger players who are further from their prime so they can build into something. Maybe that's their goal, and that'd be something that's cool, because certainly a lot of people don't know the names of Chelsea signees because we signed children. But that clearly hasn't worked, as they're the worst team in all of England, in England's top flight right now. It's really not even close, because some of the promoted sides like Sunderland are performing quite well, as we know too personally. So anyway, that's some of the statistics to look at before the game. We should absolutely be winning this game. I don't care about the inconsistencies. We need to be winning this game. So let's go look at the lineup builder, see who I think is going to win this, or who's going to play in this game, and why I think that. All right, guys, so here we are on Squad Builder, and we're just run through this lineup real fast. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of similarities from the match last week against Tottenham, because if it is not working, you should keep doing it, right? If it ain't broke, go fix it. So in the back, we got Rob Sanchez. I don't think he's been the problem at all this year. Yes, he's had moments of terror, as he always does, but at the same time, I don't think he's been the issue. And we don't have any better options. Malo Gusto on the right. Interesting choice here, and the reason for that is because I actually don't think there's room in this squad for the two right backs in this game. And of course, Reece James is my number one right back. He is, in my view, the best right back in the world when he's fit, which I think he is pretty fit right now. But the problem is, I have just been acclimatized to never feel like there's going to be a day again where he plays two 90s in the same week, and he played a 90 in the midweek, which I was really surprised by the way. So if Malo Gusto is unwell and that's why he didn't play in the midweek, then of course you'll see Reece here, but I don't know. I heard it was just because he wanted to give Gusto rest, which makes me think he will for sure play, and I'd be surprised if Reece plays two full 90s in a row. I'd like to see it. I'd prefer it. But again, these are kind of a mix of preferred and also realistic lineups. So in the center back pairing, we have Wesley Fofana and Trev Chalobah, and then Marc Cucurella on the left. So this actually does keep the back four the same as last week. And the reason for that is because, holy cow, guys, the Tottenham game, if it was anything, it was complete dominance. Because, get this straight, Tottenham had 3 shots in that entire game. And I'm not saying shots on target, I'm saying entirely they had 3 shots the entire game. That is unreal against a good side. I know they've been spotty as of late, but a good side in Tottenham, so I'm keeping that the same. And then the midfield engine, we have Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. We're starting to see this kind of shape back into what it'll probably look like when we're fully healthy, which I love to see, because the front 4 pairing has a new character back in the lineup, and that's Liam Delap, who will be eligible for this game, which is huge. And if we can get him going, that completely changes the outlook of this attack, in my opinion. So on the right, though, some of you might be a little bit surprised. I have Stevao playing. I love him. I think he is the next one for sure. And the reason I have him starting this game is because I think he's been playing amazingly, and I think he deserves it. But also because I've heard Pedro Neto is kind of carrying a knock, so he's not for sure going to play this game. It's looking better, but as of now, I'm just assuming he's not, because it's not been confirmed that he is. So I have Stevao slotting in for him. And then Joao Pedro back in the 10 position, hopefully having a out-and-out, more mature number 9 in front of him will allow him to play off of him well, and he'll kind of continue to get back to his normal self. This midweek's goal will help with that. Or last week's goal, sorry. And then Garnacho on the left, he's been playing well, I think, too. I'd like to see a little bit less Tude from him when he gets subbed off. I mean, everybody gets subbed off, especially wingers, when you're looking for a goal. So I'd like to see a little bit less of that, but I think we signed up for that when we signed him. He's a little bit of a diva, but that's okay. I'd also love to see Gittins get good minutes, like 30-plus minutes in this game. So wouldn't be surprised to see him get some good time. And then up top, we have Liam Delap making his return. Hopefully, it's a better return than it was against Wolves in the Carabao Cup, because what a nightmare that was. So anyway, this is my starting 11. I think it's fairly lethal. The only changes really I'd make in this squad in general would probably be eventually, right? Like if I was going to say, oh, what's the problem with the squad? We need Cole Palmer back. We need, I think, Levi Colwill back. And then we need Reece James fit for every game. and then maybe a left winger. But apart from that, guys, I love this lineup, truly. And I think we will dominate with it. So let's finish this up. Let's talk about my score prediction and wrap it up. Okay, guys, so yeah, I really do think this game should be one where Chelsea dominates, and I think we will. I think we'll dominate the score sheet. I think we'll dominate the stat lines, but the one thing is, I think we are still inconsistent. I think this is an attack that has not played together very much, so I don't think it's necessarily going to be a 5-0 type of game, but I do think it's going to be a comfortable 2-0. I don't think Wolves will threaten very much. I think our defense has been looking a little bit sturdier as of late, which is good against a team that is not doing well thus far. And of course, that can always be a banana peel because they're, of course, more than anyone else wanting to get a win. But we need to take advantage of that. And we need to remember who we are as a really strong club, competing not for top 4, but competing for everything. So these are the types of games we need to dominate, and I do think we will. So I think it's going to be 2-0. What do you guys think? Would you change anything with that that lineup I built? Would you maybe not have Delap start the whole game, maybe continue to work him into the squad with a longer cameo? What would you do? Would you do anything different? Leave those thoughts in the comments below so I can interact with all you guys. I love to, especially as we're a smaller channel, interact with anybody who comments, kind of get that conversation going. So do that. Like the video if you can. It's hugely helpful to me. So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully we get a dub tomorrow.